And what if you could control all your astrophotography equipment from a single device? And do it. Plus, with total precision and control over voltage, temperature, humidity, and so on. And all of this, moreover, for about 170 euros. Today, I present to you the new SVBony SV241 Pro, the advanced evolution of SVBony's power and data hub, which we already tested on the channel a few months ago. My name is Miguel Azorín, and I welcome you once again to Natural Portraits. Before we begin, let me remind you that if you also want to learn everything you need to photograph the universe, just like I do, from beginner level all the way to the most advanced techniques out there, you have the courses from the Natural Academy at your disposal. Complete courses from 0 to 100. In deep sky astrophotography, planetary astrophotography, and astrophotography processing with powerful software like Adobe Photoshop or PixInsight. The most advanced software available for astrophotography processing. Take a look at all these courses from the link you'll find in the first comment and in the description. Let's start by recalling the SV241 standard, which we've already reviewed. Some time ago on the channel, it was a compact and practical power box with 6 12-volt outputs and several ports, USB. An affordable solution, ideal for keeping cables organized and powering your equipment from a central point. And all this for just over 50 euros. In other words, an incredible value for money. But of course, at this price, its features were basic. We didn't have any kind of monitoring or automation. With the new Pro version, SVBony has made a significant leap forward. Possibly the most important advancement is that with the SV241 Pro, we have continuous monitoring of everything happening with our equipment. Through a driver developed by SVBony and fully compatible with the Ascom platform, we can connect the SV241 Pro to Nina and have complete control over everything happening with our setup. The SV241 Pro features 7 12-volt power outputs that can now be controlled individually. This allows you to turn accessories on or off from your computer, which is especially useful or even essential in remote or automated setups. Additionally, it includes temperature and humidity sensors that come standard with the device itself, as well as PWM control for the heater bands. While in the standard version we could only connect heater bands via USB, now we have 2 RCA outputs to connect 2 heater bands. Normally, these are for the main tube and the guide tube, allowing you to control the power at which they operate. And as I said, all of this can be monitored and controlled from Nina, which opens the door to complete automation of the equipment. USB port management has also been improved with more connections. Now we have 3 USB 2.0 ports and 2 USB 3.0 ports, and we can control the connection and disconnection of the 2 USB 3.0 ports and one of the 2.0 ports. Therefore, we have better electrical filtering and greater stability when controlling cooled cameras, focusers, or demanding mounts. The construction, as you can see, is equivalent to the standard version, with a similar finish, although in this case, obviously, the box is larger. And it comes standard. Something we really missed in the standard version, which is a shoe to easily attach it to our telescope. So, in summary, is it worth it? The extra investment in the Pro version of the SV241? The SV241 standard is still perfect for simple setups or portable configurations. But the SV241 Pro takes it a step further, adding control, safety, and automation. And this is essential if we want to work with our equipment automatically or remotely. Disadvantages of the SV241 Pro version? Does it have any? Is it a bit more expensive? It's bigger and heavier, and it requires spending a few minutes on the initial setup. But it's worth mentioning that the setup is very simple. But in return, we get total control of the system and much smarter power management. And now that we know its main features, let's, as always, put it to the test in the field. We'll see how it performs in a real astrophotography session and whether those improvements really translate into a more comfortable and efficient experience. Well, as you can see, today we've got a change of scenery. We're going back to those astrophotography videos. Balcony session this time for 2 reasons. First, because the nights have been very cold, and second, because even though I'm in an area with a lot of light pollution, we're going to test the new filter. The SVBony Duo Band in hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3 with a 3 nanometer bandpass. Basically, it's the same filter I've been using with excellent results, both with my portable setup and with the equipment I have installed at the observatory, in its 7 nanometer version. But in this case, it's the new version released by SVBony, which is even more restrictive at 3 nanometers. For now, in this video, we're going to see first light with this filter, but later on I'll bring you a full comparison video between these 2 versions of the filter. By the way, for those of you who have been following the channel for a while, this setting might look familiar to you. Yes, this is where I started recording the natural portraits videos. And with that said, let's start our astrophotography session. First, let's open Nina and start connecting the devices. Here we have the camera, we connect it and start cooling it down. The focuser, we connect it, we connect the mount. There it is. Let's connect the auto guiding system, and lastly, let's connect the switch, which we have right here, which is actually the SVBony box. First, we'll need to select the port it's connected to, which is this one here, and now we have it connected. Look at everything we have here to control. We can manage all the ports. In this case, I have the camera connected here, so let's enable it. We can control the power of the USB ports here for do heater strips. Here we can control the output power of the regulated port we have. This is very interesting. And ultimately, as you can see, we have total control over everything involved in our astrophotography session, so now we have everything ready. The first thing I'm going to do is focus the telescope. Let's do the alignment and then point it at some deep sky object. Well, I finally managed to align it, though it was quite difficult. I have to say, I had several camera disconnections, which was quite similar to what I experienced before. With the other version of this product, the SVBony SV241, the more basic version, this one is the Pro version. I thought all these problems had been solved, but it seems to me that they're not completely fixed. Even so, as I said, I managed to align the equipment, so let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if we can carry out the astrophotography session. The goal for tonight is to frame both the Soul Nebula and the Heart Nebula together. The Heart Nebula is IC 1805. And here it is. Check out what a cool framing we get with this telescope, the SV555, and this camera, the ASI 294 MC Pro. We've finished framing, so let's send the telescope over there. And from now on, we're going to start an astrophotography sequence. Alright, so here we have this first image, and what I'm noticing is that the framing has shifted a little bit. But still, we can already see what we've got here. Keep in mind that we're photographing from the balcony at home, right in the middle of the city, with a ton of light pollution all around. But look at the amazing amount of detail we get in just a single shot. It's impressive. I'm going to finish readjusting the framing, and then we'll let the rest of the session run. Alright, the session is finished. In the end, it was a little over 3 hours of shooting, and except for a few problems I had at the beginning, getting all the equipment set up, aligned, and working properly, the rest of the session went smoothly. So I think we're gonna get a good photo out of this session. It's freezing cold. I'm going to stay here capturing calibration shots, but I'll leave you with the final result.